Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again at Rejuvenate Edition 3. We've had 3 fantastic speakers before us, but I'm very, excited about the guest that we are having here today, which is Prinsloo Curson. I hope I did not butcher your name, and Jarvis Talwar, who is obviously based in Malaysia. We'll get into the details of Jarvis in a little bit, but Richard and Jarvis, first of all, welcome to Rejuvenate Edition 3.
Hello, Andrew, how are you?
Good, doing great. I hope you guys are doing great. Richard, I'm loving the weather that you have at the back. You know, that's a very nice tree at the background. I think it's a window overlooking, I'm sure, a fantastic view that you're having right over there in South Africa.
Yeah, this is the tropical South Africa that everybody knows.
Fantastic. Now, just going straight into it, Richard, you are originally from the UK. I will leave those details with you to share with us later on. We are very excited to hear about you and about this amazing grand project that we have got here. But very quickly, just moving to Jarvis for a quick bit. Jarvis, you are currently based in Malaysia, correct?
Yes.
And you're originally from India?
Yes, I am originally from India, yes.
Fantastic. How old are you?
I am 13 years old and I study in grade 8.
Mind-blowing. Fantastic. Jarvis, just hang on to your seats. We will come back to you in a short bit. Moving back to Richard very quickly. Richard, could you just give us an overview of who is Richard Prinsloo Curson?
Who is Richard? Well, Richard is from the UK originally. I'm from a farming background, would you believe? And I come from a small village called Upwell in Norfolk. And I had a rural upbringing. I left education, went into the media, and I've worked in public relations for 20 years. So some of my clients include celebrities and brands that you may be familiar with. So I've had quite a versatile career, and it brought me to South Africa, where Noah's Ark is now being built.
Now, how long have you been in South Africa? Just for us to put things into context.
I myself have been in South Africa probably on and off for about 8 years now. And for 5 of those years, I've been working on Noah's Ark with Hein, and we developed the project together. And that's been our full-time commitment for the last 5 years. So it's been pretty full on.
Now, for the benefit of our audience, I'm just going to very quickly give an overview of what Noah Ark is, right? So it is a state-of-the-art animal and ecological conservation park covering 100 square kilometers on the northeast coast of KwaZulu-Natal. I got that correct, right?
You are right, absolutely.
And it's in South Africa. And this will be the largest and most ambitious conservation project in history, with construction that has already started since August 2020. It's looking to be a £5 billion development, obviously supported by His Majesty the King of Zulus and leader of the regional Inkosi Tembe. I'm sorry, but I do not know how to pronounce the name of the district.
KwaZulu-Natal.
Sorry, can you say that again?
KwaZulu-Natal.
KwaZulu-Natal, okay. Now, I suppose the big question here is, why Noah's Ark?
Well, it's quite straightforward, really. When Noah first built the wooden ark all those years ago to save the animals from the Great Flood, it worked. So why reinvent the wheel? The idea is that the world is dying and we're at crisis points. We've got to do something to save it. And so we brought the concept of Noah's Ark kicking and screaming into our modern world, the way the world is now, the way the world is populated now, and with technology, the benefit of technology. And we've brought it all into what Noah's Ark would be today. And so it's a modern ark, an ark fit for the 21st century. That's what we want to build. And the other part of the project is that the idea that we need to work together as one single human race is incredibly important, because if we remain divided around the world and at war with one another and fighting one another, then it's not going to work. We have to do this collectively as one united human race, and that's what Noah's Ark is trying to do. We're trying to create an ideology, a following, a movement that people can be part of and contribute in a positive way, do their bit to make the world a better place, and together as one united human race, we can save our planet for the future and build the 21st century Noah's Ark.
Speaking of getting people together and as a collective voice to save Mother Earth and the world, we've got Jarvis here, who obviously is the World Youth Ambassador for the Noah's Ark Foundation. Perhaps I will ask Richard first. How did that come about?
Well, Jarvis approached us offering half his year's pocket money to help us to build Noah's Ark. And it struck home just what a major offering that was and how important it was for somebody like Jarvis, especially at his age. Children Jarvis's age will use that money to buy sweets and toys, to do the things they want to do. And for him, what he wanted to do was protect the future of this planet. And I thought that was incredibly special. And the first thing I did, instead of asking for the money, the first thing I did was ask him to be our ambassador, because he ticks all the right boxes. And he jumped at the opportunity, thank heavens, to do the job. And he's a brilliant ambassador. We're very, very proud to have him on the project. And I didn't ask for it, but he went ahead anyway and gave us the money, put it in our GoFundMe account anyway, without us even asking. So I think it's an admirable thing for him to do. And it makes a lot of sense that children should contribute towards the protecting of the planet, because it's their planet too, and they are ultimately going to be responsible for it when we're all dead and gone. In the future, they will be leading our world, and so it's only right that they should have a say in how that world should be.
Richard, just hold that thought for a while, and I will revisit that thought shortly after I speak to Jarvis. Jarvis, now we've heard the story from Richard. Is it true that you gave half your year's pocket money for the Noah's Ark Foundation?
Yes, it is absolutely true. I think about a month ago, Mr. Richard arranged for a Zoom meeting, an interview with me, and we met online and we exchanged ideas, videos, and photographs. And after rounds of interviews and discussions, Mr. Richard appointed me as World Youth Ambassador. About a week later, I offered to give half of my pocket money and gave it through the GoFundMe link.
Fantastic. I hope all my audiences listening in now and for those who are unable to attend the live show now, who are going to be tuning in after this, really hear what the boy here just said. You know, that is a huge sacrifice. I do hope daddy is gonna still buy you a present on your birthday, and you know, to kind of like make up for that half year's pocket money. Now Jarvis, I guess my question here is why?
Why? I actually love animals a lot. I've always requested my parents to buy me a pet, but I do not have a pet, unfortunately. I really love animals. I visit the zoo almost once a month, every year, once a month. No matter if it's my exams or anything, I visit the zoo. I really like the animals. And yes, so that
And
provoked me to give away my pocket money to this vast project.
And I also understand that you do a lot of charity work, not just by yourself, but also with your family and whatnot in right here in Kuala Lumpur, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you've been doing that since young.
Yes, it started, that work started by my father in India by giving away his old clothes. And it started actually by my grandfather. He always used to, every once a month, he used to give away to the poor people, to the people. He lived in poverty. He was also very poor. So he knows the struggle. My grandfather was very poor since he lived in a very poor farm. He was a farmer. So he knows how it feels to be poor. So that's why when he became a bit rich and was able to give to the needy, he gave. And that started. My father also did the same. And now I'm carrying on his work.
Fantastic. Richard, I can understand now why you had no choice but to pick him as a World Youth Ambassador for Noah's Ark Foundation. I mean, it's a fantastic decision, I have to say.
He is incredibly inspirational, and I think that we need to recognize that children are seeing the problems that we have today and what it means for them tomorrow. And Jarvis is leading the younger generation in doing what he's doing for us as our ambassador, and trying to sort of create a young army, as it were, to do the right things and to persuade their parents to do the right things too, to make our world better. I mean, you can start at home by recycling and not using certain products that have microplastics in them, for example, that can harm the fish in the oceans. But also you can go a step further and you can be more proactive in our organization, Noah's Ark. And that can include a number of things. It can include, you can come and visit Noah's Ark and be part of the tourism element of the project, or make donations, talk about it, share what we're talking about on social media, and be engaged and live by some of the principles. Some of the principles are that we should be kind to one another. And it, as it's a true saying, is love thy neighbor as you love thyself. I mean, it's an old statement that we can all live by, because let's be honest, it's common sense. If we care about one another, then we are going to create more of a feel-good planet, a feel-good human population, because we're all happy, and we feel good because the person before us was kind to us, and then we can deliver that kindness to the next person, and it's a chain reaction. And I think there's a lot to be said for our behavior, and how that knocks on and has consequences to what happens on the planet. So climate change is a lot more than just CO2 emissions. It's an ideology. It's a way that we are. and I think that Jarvis is got it. He really understands that. I think that's where we found a lot of synergy between us, and I wanted him to get involved, because I think children are what this project's all about. It's about the future of the planet, and children are the future. The guardians, custodians of the planet. So it's really important that they are involved now, while the problem is still being fixed, and while we have the chance to fix the problem.
Richard, so with that, going back to the initial thought that I had now, has anyone come to you, or perhaps not straight to your face, but there could be this lingering thinking about, or Noah's Ark Foundation getting money from kids to kind of fund this ambitious project? Now, to some, it looks as if, oh yeah, I'm just taking money from everywhere, or anywhere and everywhere. But obviously, for us who understands the concept of what you just mentioned earlier, we do get what Jarvis is trying to do here. But has there been a time when someone looked you straight in the face and said, "You got to be kidding me, Richard. That's the poor kid's half a year pocket money. He's only 13."
I think it's really important that children give their pocket money to Noah's Ark, and I would encourage that, and I would ask parents around the world to let them, if children want to give their money to us. I think it's a duty that children should give their pocket money to Noah's Ark, because it's their planet too. And why shouldn't they? In 20 years' time, they will be complaining that they've been left with a planet they can't sustain because we've screwed it up. And now, if children want to use their money to put it right, then I'm all for it. And I think if every child on the planet gave half their year's pocket money, we would be able to build Noah's Ark just with children's pocket money.
Richard, having said that, why aren't the millionaires and the billionaires of the world stepping up to come forward with not their half a year's pocket money, a week's wages for some? I'm talking about people that you are obviously familiar with, right? Football players, for example. Just a thought.
Ironically, that children will give their pocket money, but millionaires and billionaires hold on to it. And I think they probably get buried with it as well, don't they? They want to take it to the other side when they're dead and gone. I think people have the wrong idea that we're going to live forever, and we're not. You can't take your money with you. So what you do is you make use of it the best you can, and make sure that you do something good while you're here, while you have this little bit of time. Surely, if you have that much money, you can do something good for the future generations. But no, they don't. They choose to build spaceships and do that sort of thing instead of looking after the planet, the only planet that we have to live on. But Jarvis and children like Jarvis see a different point of view, the right point of view, that we all have a duty and a responsibility to look after our planet. And whilst there are some wealthy supporters of Noah's Ark, and we have on board, and organizations who have pledged substantial sums of money to help build Noah's Ark, we could do with more. There's a dire need to have more investors coming forward. There's an investment program in Noah's Ark that investors around the world can get involved in. And there are some lucrative packages for investors, and some fantastic economic returns, as well as environmental returns, and on many levels. because this project is also going to be uplifting the South African economy, which is in need for that upliftment, but also globally as well, that it can create a feel-good factor for tourism and travel, as well as environmental affairs. So there's a lot of positivity in the fundraising side of the project, and unfortunately, children see it more than adults.
Yeah, that's very true. I've got to agree with you. Now, we will share those resources that you've just mentioned earlier, the investor packages and whatnot. We will also redirect our audiences, whether it's currently live now or watching later on, so that they can find out more about the Noah's Ark Foundation. Now, I want to go quickly into the project fly-through video, so that we can the audiences can have almost in a sense a first peek of that video here in Malaysia, and perhaps also to some people around the world. And while we go through the video, perhaps you would like to narrate and let us know what are we looking at. I've seen the video and I can't help myself. I've watched the video a couple of times now, and I'm just mind blown by it. It's really something out of a fantasy world. It reminds me of a Marvel movie instead. You know, it's just fantastic. So I'm just gonna roll that video right now. Just give us 2 seconds. There we go. All right. So over to you, Richard, for the narration. What are we looking at?
Okay, well, now we're going down from the sky into Noah's Ark. That's the center of Noah's Ark. We're flying through the national park part of Noah's Ark at the moment. Now you will be able to see the levitation train coming in from the outside of the park, coming into the central compound. There we are. It's powered by solar, so completely green and clean. This is how visitors will enter the park from the Noah's Ark airport on the edge. These are driverless automated battery or electric vehicles that you see that transport visitors around Noah's Ark.
Now, how much of what is the progress like right now?
We finished all the surveys on the land and the air and the water. We're doing the EIAs. You can see the restaurant quarter here on the left for visitors. We start breaking ground in March next year. These are 3 hotels you can see here for visitors, and the geodomes in the background. And the main river running through towards the restaurant quarter on 5 floors. These are some of the visitor facilities. So we'll see some of the science facilities soon. But obviously it needs to be self-sustainable. So these incredible world-class hotels and visitor facilities are incredibly important to its sustainability. And we already have one of the world's biggest hotel resort companies who have pledged $550 million to secure one of the hotels. So
fantastic.
Very excited about that. The main boulevard coming down by the geodomes. The geodomes are 3 kilometers in diameter. So the scale isn't exact. This is the entertainment quarter. The scale had to be squeezed into the computer program the architects did the fly-through with. So you can't fully see the scale, but it gives you a good idea. Now looking at the welcome center there on the left.
Amazing.
Coming through to the aquarium. The aquarium's will be the world's biggest aquarium.
Wow.
You can't quite see the scale of it on this, but it does give you an indication. But it really, really will be massive. And it goes deep into the ground as well. This is the conference center. I can see United Nations having their climate change conferences here. The central Burma is a hologram fire. So we don't want to be burning real fire, do we? This is all about saving the planet. The geodomes are 3 kilometers in diameter. Each of the geodomes represents a different environment. The Antarctic, the Arctic, and the Amazon being 2 of them. And we're here at the main gate going out into the national park, where you can experience for yourself the African indigenous animals, the lions, the elephants, the giraffes, and so on. And for all of these, there's many science facilities within the park as well that I didn't get to explain there. But there's laboratories, a seed bank, pollinator bank, DNA bank, in a nuclear bunker, in a bunker that has laboratories within it. So it's quite a big network bunker underground.
In summary, I see 2 things here. One is the research side of Noah's Ark Foundation, and obviously the other portion is where perhaps to also kind of like be self-funded at the end of the day is the ecotourism portion of things, correct?
Yes, like I said, in order for this project to work, it has to be self-sustainable. And the only way that you can do that is to have people visiting. But also it gives a sense of ownership to the world as well, that you can be part of the project. And it's important that we have an inclusive project and that people can feel good about saving the planet. Because let's be honest, saving the planet is dull, it's aggressive, it's a nasty thing. I mean, you look at some of the stuff on the news, right? It's all about aggressive speeches, it's about blaming, it's a blame game, a name and shame blame game. Noah's Ark is a feel-good project, a way for people to get involved, make a difference. We want to talk about how we can make the planet better, bring in stuff like music, entertainment. You know, we're building a 21st century Ark. These are all exciting things that people can feel good about. And it just goes to show that saving the planet doesn't have to be a boring news story. It can be really exciting, really, it can be a positive thing.
Jarvis, how excited are you to visit the place when it's all ready and open for public?
I'm actually really excited for that. Really 100 square kilometer place. It must be huge, very vast place. I'm very excited actually to go visit the place in South Africa.
And imagine all the types of animals that you will be able to also see in one place, right?
Yes. The Noah in there, they also have the visitor compound. So visitors also can come and see the animals, every type of animals.
Fantastic. Now, Richard, before we move on a little bit more, I've already got a couple of questions here, and perhaps we could address them. There's one here from Kwa Jit that asks, how has COVID affected the plans? I suppose in terms of progress of the entire development.
Well, it has affected the plans considerably. When COVID first broke out, I had just flown to London to do an interview with Ian King on Sky News. It was going to be, for me, the most important interview of the whole project at that time. and we were hoping that it would encourage businesses all over the world to come forward and get involved. So it was a milestone interview, and it was pulled from underneath me because the UK went into lockdown, and all of that was stopped. So that's the first thing. But also I was stuck in the United Kingdom for about 3 months, and I was only there for 2 weeks. So you can imagine my whole schedule, my whole plans for the project was totally pushed by the wayside. But then as we moved on, we realized that COVID was affecting our funding as well. All of the plans for funding were being affected by coronavirus, and the regulations, actually more than the virus itself, but more the government regulations around the world, were causing damage to the economies and to investor confidence in anything. And of course, for a project like ours, investor confidence is incredibly important.
Yeah.
It really damaged all of our plans. So hence, we do need investors to come forward and be part of the project, and realize that there is a future beyond coronavirus and COVID and regulations and all of those things. There's a future beyond that. We've got to start looking to that future, building it. And what better way to come out of COVID, come out of this wake-up call, and build Noah's Ark and a new ideology that our world can be united, can be kind, can be positive, can be productive, green, clean. We can look after the planet. I mean, these are all great things that we can invest in. Surely, these are the things that we should be investing in and putting our focus on, and thinking positively rather than negatively.
Now, Richard, another question here from Billy and as well as Ehsan. It's kind of almost correlated, right? I guess after watching the video, one of our audience here is asking, how much is this affecting the original land's flora and fauna? And also the next question, perhaps almost in a way correlated to it, what's the general view on animal poaching in the region?
I think animal poaching, the general view is that it's unacceptable, and there are policies in place to protect animals. But unfortunately, the reason that poaching happens is because of poverty. People do it for money. I mean, there's no easy way of saying it, as much as I feel uncomfortable saying it. But people do it for money. They have to live. They have to feed their families. And in particular, in the region where we're building Noah's Ark, it's the community there is amongst the poorest in South Africa. In fact, I think it is the poorest in South Africa. So we're dealing with people who are desperate and will do whatever it takes to survive. And poaching is unfortunately one of those things. But also there's another group of people who might travel to places from other countries even because of the prices of some of the product of poaching, to call it that, like pangolin scales or rhino horns or elephant tusks. These things all have a value to them in the black market and in the black market trade, and some people will poach for the money because they want to get rich quick or that sort of thing, and that's also motivating poaching. And you'll see there are programs around the country that are cracking down on poaching. But I think the Noah's Ark concept of the ideology of Noah's Ark is that if we can go to the core of it, which is poverty part of poaching, and invest into those poverty-stricken communities, and work with the communities and involve them into the Noah's Ark project, then it takes away a whole load of need or desire to poach, and actually has the opposite effect. It encourages people to stop poaching and stop poachers, because it's affecting their livelihood at that point. So there's a lot to be said about poaching, and it's a complex subject. It's not straightforward. There's been a lot of high-profile news stories, adverts, charity campaigns in the United Kingdom in particular, I think all over the world, where people aren't fully educated about poaching, and they're making false claims, and so celebrities have made false claims about poaching, and they just don't have the facts. And when you get down to the nitty-gritty, the problem is that people want to survive. They've got to earn a living, and you know, what can you say to those people? What do you say to those people? You know what we're saying to those people is, we're bringing Noah's Ark to you, so now you can come and work for us, and now you don't need to poach.
Interesting you brought up that last point there, Richard, because the next question actually kind of relates to that as well. What is the local view about Noah's Ark that you're building in South Africa, right? Are they looking at it as disturbing their way of life, or is it something beneficial to them and their community? I heard you talk about hotels. It looks like there is a resort there. There's a game section as well. So obviously there's going to be, employment opportunities, put it this way. Thoughts on that? What are the locals saying?
Well, we've involved the locals on every level. When we first went to look at the land where we wanted to build Noah's Ark, before we did anything, we had to speak to the community and the tribes and the people, and involve them and ask them what they thought as well. So it's been an inclusive project from the beginning, and we've been trying to do our best to work with all the relevant organizations and authorities and the government on every level the whole way through. And generally it's been well received, because it's a beacon of light for thousands of people who will be employed by the project, for thousands of people who will be helping to build Noah's Ark, for all the businesses who will be supplying Noah's Ark, everything from curtains to bricks. I mean, somebody's got to provide all of that, and we're trying to get as much of it as we can from South Africa. We are getting involvement from other countries, but which is, I think, really important, because we want to make this a globally inclusive project as much as a South African inclusive project. But even with that international involvement, those international companies would be using South African materials, employing South African people, helping to upskill people as well, and change people's lives. And so there's a sense of excitement, that it's coming. There is, especially if you go into some of the rural communities, everybody knows about Noah's Ark. It's been widely covered by the news here, and people know about it, and they know that it's coming. And I suppose there's some anticipation about what it's going to mean for them. And it will do a lot for the South African tourism market economy as well, and I think rejuvenate travel to South Africa and bring a whole new sense of excitement about traveling to South Africa, and make it easier and easily accessible, because at the moment South Africa is a wild and tropical destination. I think a lot of people feel detached from it and feel, in a sense, that it's a difficult place to travel to. And Noah's Ark is going to break all those barriers down, putting really easy infrastructure so that if you want to travel there, wherever you are in the world, you can easily come to Noah's Ark and enjoy a first world experience in a third world country.
Now, you covered a little bit of what the next question was actually asking. So the question goes something like this: how can Malaysians help in this project? Are there any program already lined up for Malaysians to actively participate in this awesome project? So I suppose you kind of opened the doors already, in the sense that you do welcome global collaborations. This is meant to be a very global project. Anything in specific, perhaps, that you would have thought about, in terms of Malaysia itself? How can we contribute? Obviously, we will talk about the individual, investors or potential investors later on. But as Malaysia as a country itself, do you see any form of collaboration that could happen?
Absolutely. I mean, let's look at the environment for a start, and Malaysia's indigenous animals. Perhaps we could introduce some of those to the Malaysian dome in the Ark, and collaborate with the country to preserve Malaysia's natural world, animals, plants, and so on. And also, we're going to be wanting to build one of our lifeboats in Malaysia, which is our lifeboat program is our local conservation projects all around the world, from the Amazon to the Arctic. And we're also talking about launching one in the UK as well, and in America. And these local projects will work on the ground, locally, internationally, on environmental issues that matter to those particular local areas. And so we would definitely be wanting to do that in Malaysia. I know Jarvis will be in the front of the queue, leading the way as he grows up, to help us with that. And science and environmental experts, we need you too. This is an inclusive project. We don't have a closed door policy, it's an open door policy. So anybody can go to the Noah's Ark project, have a look at what the project is, and if you can contribute, if you feel that you've got something that you can bring in to Noah's Ark, then come forward, because it's your planet. We are preserving the world that we all live on. Noah's Ark is not about one person, it's about all of us. We are all Noahs, so it's up to each and every one of us to assume that role, take responsibility, wake up and realize what problem we've got, and come get involved, be part of the solution. So Malaysia has a big role to play. And of course, if there's any business leaders in Malaysia that want to get involved, there's sponsorship opportunities, there's media opportunities, as well as investment opportunities. So this could help put your business on the front line in terms of environmental work. So if your business wants to get involved and show its commitment to our planet, and support Noah's Ark, then come forward. We want to hear from you.
Fantastic. So just a reminder to our audiences, Richard's profile is available on the site, and so is his contact details and ways to get in touch with Noah's Ark Foundation as well. So for anyone who is interested. Now, Jarvis, coming back to you, I guess it's time to ask you the tougher questions now. What does your role as a World Youth Ambassador for Noah's Ark Foundation entails? Well, what do you need to do? What have you been doing ever since you have been appointed as the World Youth Ambassador?
Well, I represent the world's youth as an ambassador, as everybody knows. And I believe I shall lead young people into Noah's Ark because we have a duty today to help motivate the human population to take action now and prevent the eco crisis in tomorrow's world. When I'll be an adult and we will survive in this world.
Now, just to segue into the one of the question for Jarvis as well. That there is a question here that asks how do you plan to involve yourself full time in Noah's Ark when you grow up? Is that something at the back of your head? You know, maybe 5-10 years from now, you said, I'm going to take over Richard's position.
Yes, of course, that could be possible. If there is a chance that could be possible, then I would have to take care of the other things which Mr. Richard is doing. I'll have to sit with Mr. Richard, learn a lot from him because it is Mr. Richard's position.
But Richard, you have been warned. Let me just say that.
I think I can't think of a better person to take over than Jarvis, to be honest with you. So we hope it does come to that, because no, what better person to have as custodian of Noah's Ark than Jarvis? He's a fantastic inspiration, and if all children can be like Jarvis, then the future is going to be a wonderful place.
Jarvis, just to share, or rather just to find out a little bit from you, are your friends, you know, in school or your friends outside of school, are they aware of Noah's Ark? Are they, you know, are they when they hear it from you, are they excited to be part of it? Is that something? Is that a conversation that's going on now among your circle of friends?
Yes, absolutely. Recently, I made a video about Noah's Ark and presented to my school. So most of my classmates and my close friends know about Noah's Ark, and they are also very passionate to be part of this vast project.
Amazing.
I have had conversations with my close friends, and they are as excited as me to be part of this project and contribute. They also want to contribute to this project. They want to save the planet, everyone, and they should.
Richard, there you go, Richard. More pocket money.
Lovely. That's what we want. All the pocket money we can get.
Fantastic. Jarvis, just very going back very quickly to that video that you have presented to your class or your school. You know, if I can get a hand on that video as well, we are more than happy to share it over on the Rejuvenate platform as well. I mean, we will talk about this offline later on. But you know, I am all for promoting. I'm all for, you know, doing everything the Rejuvenate platform can do for Noah's Ark and for the youth and for the young leaders who will obviously be taking over the world in 20-30 years from now, right? As what Richard said, you know, you and I will probably not be around anymore by the time, you know, they take over. So we might as well leave it in very good hands now itself. Now, Richard, I obviously know about a TV series. I know about in a way somewhat of a TV series / documentary, and there's also a book series apparently. Can you tell us more about that?
The book You Are Noah is the first book of the series is out on 30th October in the United Kingdom. And shortly afterwards in America and South Africa, and then it'll be available worldwide. You can pre-order the book online, so go online and put You Are Noah into Google and you will find your local retailer. It's also available on Amazon globally as well. And the book is a comprehensive insight into what we've been doing to build Noah's Ark. Jarvis is featured in there as well. So you can get a thorough walkthrough of the whole project in pictures, in words. It's a stunning collection of memories from our journey so far. So it's coming out just before the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Glasgow,
Scotland,
in
yes.
the UK. So the timing couldn't be better.
Yeah.
And it's a hardback book as well. So it's a really nice coffee table book for anybody wanting to bring the environment into their lives. So that's out on the 30th of October, and there's more books to come. We've got to produce 7 books for the publisher over the next few years.
No.
So then we've been working on the TV show.
Yes.
The first series was broadcast on Globetrotter Television, on Sky Television in the UK earlier this year, and we're now starting the new series of Noah's Ark, which documents what we're up to behind the scenes with Noah's Ark. So it's a fly on the wall docu-series about the project.
Interesting. I'm sure that it's going to be well received. Jarvis, just very quickly jumping back to you. Do you do anything like a normal 13-year-old do? Do you play video games?
Yes, I play video games. I go to school. I'm a normal kid.
I understand that you recently took up coding as well, right?
Yes, programming, JavaScript.
Amazing, 13-year-old JavaScript. I look forward to you helping us build the next iteration of the Rejuvenate platform when you are ready. Do give me a call.
Yes, absolutely.
I do hope I get a discount though. Now, Richard, before I go into the last question that I have, I do realize there's another question here on the chat box, and I'll just like to address it on behalf of Harinder Singh. Once this project is on, will there be any relief funds for the poor in order to stop animal poaching? I suppose that was in relation to what you spoke about earlier.
Yeah, one of the key directives of the project is to invest into South Africa and some of the poorest communities in South Africa and uplift them from poverty. Some of the people that we've come into contact with who live by where the Noah's Ark site is are so poor that they live in metal shacks, and they sleep on the soil, on the bare soil. And you've got elderly women sleeping on the bare soil and struggling to survive. And they eat, some of them are eating samp, boiled samp, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And some of them are also struggling with water supplies because parts of the country only have water for 3 days of the week. So the other 3 days of the week, you are, sorry, the other 3 days of the week, you are without water. So the situation is very bad, and it spurs us on when we see that situation, because it makes us more determined to help those people and more determined to make Noah's Ark work for them. No, please don't make any mistake when you look at what we're trying to do in this project. This project is not a project to enrich me. It's not a project to enrich anybody, any individuals. This is, if anything, it's making me poorer, because I'm not as financially strong as I was when I started this project. I've invested everything I had into it for the right reasons. That we genuinely do care about what we're trying to do. And all the money that we're making, it's going into the project. Everything is going into the project. So we need all the help that we can get. I can't stress it enough. There's been a lot of comments about me and about Hein behind the scenes, saying that no, we're doing this because we want to get rich quick or something like that, and that's just not the way it is. It's not how it is at all. We will probably die broke because we care about this project, and that's all we care about. As long as we can get this project successful and the planet is secured for the future, then that to me, I will feel richer than anybody if I can do that. I'm sure Jarvis would feel the same. I mean, I think we're both on the same page there. And so if you do donate or invest in this project, I can guarantee you that is going into the project.
And fantastic. Well said, Richard. And with that, I want to ask you the last question here. What word of advice would you have for youths, especially, and also for our adult audiences here? I know you have, throughout our conversation from the start till the end, emphasized a lot on how we need to take action. We need to stop what we are doing right now that is hurting planet Earth. But what is that one thing that you really want to hit home to our audiences here today?
I think we've got to, the one thing that I want to hit home is that it's time to pull down the barriers and unite as one humanity. There's too many wars, there's too many divides between us. There's been a lot of debate about racism, a lot of debate about cultural differences, religion differences. We've got issues in North Korea, issues in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And people don't want to talk about it either because they're scared of talking about these issues. But we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it and say enough is enough. Why do we need to hate one another? Why can't we just love one another? And if we have problems or issues or things that we don't like, then can't we talk about it rather than fire missiles at one another, or have wars or kill people, put people through pain? Why do we have to do that? Because that's not constructive, and it's not helping the eco crisis that we have. Climate change is far more, and the effects of climate change is far more than emissions. It's about who we are as a humanity, and we've lost our way. We really have. We need to wake up, wake up and smell the coffee, because if we don't, we won't have a planet left. And like Jarvis said,
absolutely,
we've got 20 years left, and then it's gone past the point of no return. What will we do then? Well, the future generation will look back, Jarvis's generation will look back, and they'll say, our parents and our grandparents really screwed up this planet for us. Now we have to sit with this problem that we can't fix. And that's not acceptable when we have the opportunity now to work together and build a better future as one united humanity. Surely that's the way.
Beautiful, Richard. Beautiful. Jarvis, what do you have to say to fellow youths?
We need our planet for survival. Right now, our planet needs us. Our planet needs us. We need to conserve our planet from poachers, from hunting. We need to conserve the animals. Noah Ark is conserving every species of animals so that they do not go extinct, because you have seen the Indian cheetah, the dodo. These animals they have gone extinct. Not even my great grandfather would have seen these animals, the dodo. So when our future, we are preserving these animals, we are conserving them, so our future generation gets to see these animals. So our future generation get to see these animals in real life. This project is all about that. That the future generation gets to see all the animals and explore these animals.
So Jarvis, you are going to be the world ambassador for Noah's Ark Foundation, right? For the rest of your life.
Yes, but when I grow up, I won't be a youth ambassador.
Fantastic.
I would like to think that that Jarvis will become an adult ambassador.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to grow up that fast.
It's
So,
not fun being an adult. It's not fun at all.
Yeah, let's not kill the joy for him, Richard. You know, if I may, I just want to say that it has been a real pleasure. It has been a real honor for Rejuvenate to be hosting Noah's Ark Foundation, to be hosting Richard and Jarvis as well. And Richard, all the best to you and all the best to the team. Can we just quickly, how big of a team that you have, the core team that you have?
There's about 200 people working on the project at the moment. We're spread all over the world. So we've got a team in Australia, team in America, a team based in Los Angeles and Las Vegas as well. Also the South African team, also in the United Kingdom. So we're spread around the world, and obviously Jarvis in Malaysia. And we like it that way because we're able to pull talent from all corners of the world, and we all do something different. Over in Australia, they're working on the energy side of the project. So you know, we're trying to pull in where we can from all over the world. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want to pull the world together, unite the planet, and build Noah's Ark together, the whole world, all of us. Build Noah's Ark, and that's what we're doing. That's what's happening.
Amazing. So with that, Richard, I will get those resources from you, and then we will post it up on the platform as well as to the rest of the audiences and viewers, and they will be able to find out more about Noah's Ark Foundation. And Jarvis, you are a true inspiration. In fact, I think you are the star for Rejuvenate Edition 3, you know, where we are talking about inspirational stories and inspiring for tomorrow. You are a true example of how this generation, this upcoming generation, if I may, should be. I love it when Richard spoke about the ideology of it all, right? It's not just a simple movement in that sense, and I think you kind of epitomize that entire concept of it, Jarvis. So well done to you. It's fantastic, and Richard, well done to you and the team as well, to for pushing forth with Noah's Ark project, and I again wish you all the best for the project, and for the both of you to stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you all again, hopefully. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Aru. I am one of the researchers and co-founders at Climate Action Malaysia, which is a climate justice movement here based in Kuala Lumpur. I would like to wish everyone Happy Nationals Day. Selamat Hari Kebangsaan.
Greetings all, it's Conso Titus here from Melbourne, Australia. Just dropping a short little video message here to my friend Andrew Tai and all his colleagues at SNAPC at the Malaysia's premier virtual event solution provider. Selamat Hari Kebangsaan to all of you. wishing you all a safe, healthy Malaysian Independence Day on the 31st of August. Please take care of each other and enjoy all the Independence Day celebrations. See you soon.
Hello all, this is Craig Langley. I run a global business development agency based near London, and I'd just like to wish everyone a very happy National Day. Salamat Hari Kabang Sayan.
Hi everyone, my name is Ria Eichmann. I'm a global skills coach and an intercultural trainer based in Brisbane, Australia. I would like to wish you all a happy National Day. Salamat Hari Kebangsaan.
Hello everyone, my name is Teddy Swapcheva, CEO at Tinted Circular and Sustainable and founder at So, based in Oslo, Norway. I would like to wish you all a wonderful national celebration. Salamat Hari Kebangsaan.
Hey everyone, Tyler Chin here, interview coach and founder of Transform Cultures. Just want to stop by and wish all my fellow Malaysians a Selamat Menyambut Hari Kebangsaan. Stay safe everyone and hope all is well with you.
Hi everyone, my name is Siobhan Hassan. I am a transformational life and leadership coach based in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I would like to take this opportunity to wish Malaysians everywhere a happy National Day. Selamat Hari Kebangsaan.
Happy National Day, Malaysia! Selamat Hari Kebangsaan. I'm Serena, founder and CEO of Care Bear, a mental health technology startup and social enterprise based here in Hong Kong, where we alleviate depressive symptoms among youth. I hope all of you prosperity and most importantly, good health, and I wish you guys all the best. Bye!